Hi, my name is Michael and I'm a welding specialist at Migatronic. Today I'm going to talk about our function as we call IGC Intelligent Gas Control, which is a gas saving function. I'm going to talk about how does it work, why gas is so important and where it can be used. What kind of gas are you using? Are you using the right gas? Are you using the correct amount of gas? These things could be very crucial for the outcome of the weld. Are you welding with solid wires or metal flux core wires? We have different areas of weld modes, as we call them. We have the short arc area and then we have the spray arc. It's very important that you choose the correct gas flow for the right weld mode. That means in short arc circuit, you have to maybe have the flow around 8 to 10 liters per minute. And in spray arc, we need a bigger flow. That means around 15 to 18 liters per minute. So when you're finished with your weld and you take a look at it, and you find out, oh, it's filled with porosities. So that means the gas bottle went empty. So that's not very good for the weld. That means you have to spend some time grinding it and then start all over again. So what is IGC? It's a built-in hardware-software solution that takes full control over the gas consumption. That means it removes the gas puff when you start to weld. It finds its own line for the gas consumption depending if you're in short arc circuit or if you're in a spray arc weld. Depending on the setup on the machine, we have to calibrate it first. You can use it on our pi machines, that means TIG machines. You can also use them on our MIG machines for the Sigma Select and also other types for the industrial machines. If you don't already have the IGC in your machine, you can always get it mounted afterwards. So why is gas so important when you want to weld? The purpose of the gas is to protect the melted area from the air around your surroundings. If we get air into the melt pool, you get a lot of porosities, and that's not allowed in a weld. Then of course we need to find out what kind of gas we have to use depending on what type of material we are welding on, what process we are using, and what amount of the gas we have to use. So let's take an example. Mild steel for MIG process, we normally use 82/18. So that means we have 82 argon and 18% of CO2. That's the standard mix gas as we use. We can use other types of gases depending if you want to weld faster, if you don't want so much spatter afterwards. So we have different opportunities to choose. If you're welding TIG welding in aluminum, you can use, with advantages, put some helium inside also, your argon. You can use up to 50-50 or even 30-70. So that means 70% is helium. And that creates a bit more heat into the material. So that means you can melt it much faster and you can gain some speed using this type of gas. It could be you are using mag welding and you are using austenitic stainless steel, which means it's unmagnetic. In this case, the best gas, I think, it should be 98/2. So that means 98 argon and 2% of CO2. It creates a very, very nice, smooth, colorful weld. No discoloration or so. It's the perfect gas for that purpose. Back in the old days, welding mild steel, we use the traditional gas CO2, but it's a quite difficult gas to use because it creates a lot of spatter and puts a lot of heat into the material. So it also makes the arc unstable. But nowadays we are using mixed gases and we are putting some argon inside, so it really stabilizes the arc. That was a little bit about our IGC. Let's go in the workshop and see how to set it up. Welcome to our workshop. I'll now show you how to set up our function IGC. But first, make sure your gas pressure on the valves is set between 2 and 7. And when you have to calibrate the machine, you have to use a flow meter at the end of the weld torch. I will now show you. The machine is already set up for welding mild steel. We need to go in the main menu. Now it's in process setup, we need to go into wire feeder. And now we can see the gas bottle. So we have some options here. Press, and then we can see this icon. Now it's turned off. Press here. Now it's on. and our default settings for welding mild steel is 8.3 liters per minute, and we are welding with approximately 87 amps. First of all, we need to calibrate the setup. So we need a flow meter. We go into gas bottle, you measure, you set the gas flow meter on the torch, find 10 liters, and then you can scale it depending on what you need, accept it, and then you have to do it again with 20 liters per minute. When that is done, you accept it, and now the machine is ready to weld. In case you have a draft in your workshop or you're welding outside, you can increase our default settings into plus or into minus if you need. You can go up to plus 50% of the main set or minus, but then you have to remember, if you start to weld with, for instance, 28% less, the gas flow synergic line will follow it all the time until you change it. Now we can see that we are welding in short arc circuit, 87 amps, and we are welding at 8.3 liters per minute. If we increase the amps and the wire speed, we can see that the numbers are changing. So we get a bigger melt pool, so that also means we require a bigger gas flow. Find the amps you need. The gas flow will just follow the synergic line for this program, so the welder doesn't have to worry about a thing. I will now show you how to find our IGC on our Pi machine. Go into the second parameters, you toggle through till you get the post flow, and then you can see IGC is on and our recommendations for a certain amount of amps. You can increase it in case you are welding where it's drafting. Welding outside, you can increase your liters per minute if that's needed. But use our recommendations as default. In most cases this is perfect. If you want to get out of this, press our A for amperage, and then you can see your weld current. If you increase it, your amps, we can go into the parameters again and see our recommendations for IGC. Now it's 5.9 liters. So the bigger amps, the more need for more gas, and less amps, of course, you don't need so much gas. The system IGC does it for you. So where can we use this IGC? It can be used on almost all our machines, the industrial ones, such as the Pis and the Sigma Select series, and also TIG Plasma. It can be used for all materials, mild steel, stainless steel, aluminum, all kinds of joints, for manual welding, and especially the automated solutions, because if you run out of gas, the machine will stop, so you don't end up with porosities in your weld. So to summarize the IGC, it's a gas saving function, so you always get the right amount of gas at the end of the torch. You don't get any porosities in your weld because of lack of gas, so you don't have to adjust anything. The IGC does it for you. So if you really want to save some money, this IGC function is perfect for you. That was a little bit about our IGC. Thank you for watching.